The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? Are you an out-of-work actor who needs to make some money? How about being someone's dad, or husband, or best friend, or really anyone they need? And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
Well, I can't tell you whether or not this is actually a real job, but I can tell you shortly after we record this episode, I'm going to find out.
Yeah, we go from the theater directly to our podcasting studio. We do not talk to each other about the movie. We do not pass go, and we don't do any of that kind of research. So that will have to wait till after the film for sure.
Yeah, because I would do this job. I would do this job in a heartbeat. I would love this job.
All right. So, folks, you are clued in on what we're talking about here. We are discussing Rental Family. A lonely, down-and-out American actor living in Tokyo starts working for a Japanese rental family company to play various stand-in roles in other people's lives. This was a really enjoyable movie.
I really enjoyed it. Brendan Fraser has found a knack here for finding good movies. Like, that's one of the clues as to whether, like, Leonardo DiCaprio always finds good movies. Brendan Fraser always finds good movies.
Yeah, it was a very human experience, just about people's need for connection with each other and also to shelter our loved ones from certain feelings and emotions. And in short, what this film was about is a company that uses actors to step into other people's lives and fill gaps. So they might be the person someone's marrying, because in this instance in the film, it was a Japanese woman and she wanted her freedom to go and live her own life. And her parents wanted to know that if she did that, she was getting married. So through the rental family company, she got an actor to play her husband. They got married, and then after they were married, fake married, obviously, she went to meet her girlfriend so they could live a life together. So trying to protect her parents' feelings in that process and also stick with the cultural norms in Japan.
I also need to disclaimer something I said.
Okay.
Post George of the Jungle, Brendan Fraser has a knack. Post George of the Jungle.
Yeah, so our film follows our main actor, Philip, who is Brendan Fraser, and he is someone who's been in Japan for 7 years. He is a struggling actor who's just picking up bit roles here in commercials and trying to make a success of acting. He doesn't really have any connections, and he winds up getting a gig to be a mourner at a funeral service. And in doing this, he realizes that the person who is dead is not really dead. They're laying in the coffin so they can hear everyone say something nice about them.
Yeah, his role was sad American.
Yeah.
He thought he was like playing a role, which he was playing a role, but that was not what he was expecting.
No, he went in not knowing exactly what was going on. So when the guy sat up in the coffin, he was pretty startled. But that was his introduction to this company called Rental Family. And he ends up working for them and takes on two primary clients. One is to play the dad to this young girl. And the mom needs a dad in the picture so they can be a complete family, so they can apply to get to into this school for the daughter Mia. And she's tried before in the past as a single mom and hasn't gotten anywhere. So now she's trying with bringing in a fake dad into the situation. And the other one is his other client is an actor who is 80 years old, and in his younger days he had made 100 films, and he's feeling irrelevant. So his daughter hires Philip to pretend to be a journalist and interview him and make him feel seen and important and validated and remembered.
Yeah, and there were other things, like he played somebody's best friend. And they played a lot of video games. There seemed to be bits and pieces of other roles, like the various things that he could play. It was very interesting to see. I think it takes a certain type of person to be able to do that.
Yeah, I
And I
think
think that person's me.
that's interesting, because what I was about to say next is I think you would have to be able to be capable of emotionally detaching yourself from the people and the situations. And I think you could do a fairly reasonable job at that.
So I believe, now without doing it myself, I don't know for sure, but I believe I could be 100% invested while I'm in and 100% out when it's done. Like I mean, there might be, I'm sure there would be times where it would be interesting. And the thing is I think the key to doing this is you're not acting. You're not acting. You fully, wholeheartedly believe that you are the person who is taking over that role. And obviously with the understanding that the person who's paying you understands that, like I'm going full on method actor here. If you say I'm your husband, I'm going to be your husband. If you say I'm going to be someone's dad, I'm going to be someone's dad.
I actually think you'd be really good at assuming whatever role got thrown at you.
Yeah, like even when he got hired to play a journalist, you wouldn't hire me to play a journalist. I would be a journalist. Like I would actually go. I would act as though I was a journalist, and I would talk to you, get the story, do the interview, and I don't remember if he was. I think he was supposed to be like a print thing. I'd be working on a print story, and probably, I mean, when I'm done, there would be a print story.
So
I'm not role playing it. I literally am it.
Yeah, I think you do that well. So here is a couple of sticky things that I noticed in watching the film. Number one, I want to talk about number 1 second, and that is actually the process of whether or not you would hire a rental family company for someone. But before I get into that, because that's going to be an interesting discussion, I want to talk about, oh my gosh, I forgot what I wanted to talk about. What did I want to talk about? Poof. Wow, okay. Give me a second. Why don't you entertain the crowd where I think here for a second? Wow, I'm having a senior moment here. Oh. So I remember now. The problem, I'm back, folks. Sorry about that. A little coma moment. So I think the problem with this structure for a company is that their clients are hiring someone for someone else, because then you have the actor in this middle ground of they're trying to relate and do whatever they need to do to form this relationship that they have been hired to interact with, whether it's, someone's friend or husband or dad. But in doing that, that might create conflict for the person who actually hired you. Because, like, for example, in the course of the film, one of the person that he's supposedly interviewing is an 80-year-old man who is starting to lose his memory. And in trying to make him happy and give him what he needs, he's actually making the guy's daughter who hired him uncomfortable. So I think that's the problem with this business model is I don't know that you can make the client who hired you and is paying you happy and consecutively always make the person that you're hired to play a role for happy.
I mean, that gets covered in the contract. And it also depends a little bit on, like, I guess, like, how far you're willing to go in playing this. Like I said, for me, and mind you, while I'm going to look to see if this job exists, me knowing who I am, like, there would probably be some roles I couldn't take. I couldn't be someone's husband. Well, I could. I mean, it depends. It depends on what the client wants and doesn't want, and, like, why are they doing it? Like, if you're a stand-in groom for a wedding, that's fine.
Yeah, that's kind of a couple of hours, one and done thing.
Yeah, but you could have some people that might literally try to buy into a relationship.
Yeah, by your companionship. And that's what the owner of the rental family company did. When he first went home to his family, I thought, they're not real. And sure enough, later in the film, we find out they're not real.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to fill that void of coming home and having the wife cooking and the son doing his homework, and we're like, hey, kiddo, how'd you do today?
Well, and that's the thing, too. Like, Philip, I feel like in many ways got as much out of playing the role as the people paying him got by him playing the role. Like,
and I think
like he wasn't sad. He didn't feel sad and alone.
Yeah, it filled a void for him. I think where it got complicated is in the relationships that were a little bit more tender. So you mentioned earlier that one of his gigs was being this guy's best friend, and so they were playing video games and, you know, going out to clubs and watching movies, and that was just kind of like, oh, hanging out with my bro, and the stakes aren't really high. But when he had his two other clients, one who was a mother who wanted him to play father to a young girl who was probably around 8 or so.
That's the big one.
And then another woman who hired him to be the journalist for her dad, who was 80 years old and fighting dementia. Then I think those relationships are just different, because on one hand, you have the trust of a young child. On the other hand, you have a man who desperately wants to connect with his origins before he passes or before he forgets those things. And that's a whole other layer of complexity, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it would, again, this is, as you know, I'm a big fan of contracts, and this is why you lay things out in contracts. You need to know basically, what am I doing? What's my jurisdiction on this? Like,
and that was the thing, is Philip went beyond what was appropriate because he actually liked the people he was hired to spend time with. I mean, he wanted to do right by the former actor who was losing his memory. He wanted to do right by the little girl who desperately wanted a dad and liked that whole connection.
That's the hardest one there for me, is having to play the dad, and especially when she's like, swear you'll never leave me, or
you get 1,000 needles in your eyes and you're going to die.
Yeah. Or make you swallow 1,000 needles.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
It was not good.
It wasn't. That little girl knows how to make a threat.
But so I think for me, whether or not I would take a role, I would have to ask myself, do I feel like I'm overall doing good? Like, on the whole, doing good. And in like roles where guys or girls or somebody plays the role of the other man or other woman and apologizes, no, I would not do that, because that's...
Yeah, that was apology services, and that was kind of a layer of really messed up and confusing to me. So basically, men who are married and cheat on their wives, they hire someone from rental family to pose as the mistress who apologizes to the wife, and then the guy runs after the wife and says, I'm sorry. I don't understand that dynamic. I don't know if that's a cultural thing, but that seemed very messed up.
Oh, yeah, you're...
Like, what does the guy get? He gets absolution of coming clean, but not putting his real mistress in the situation.
Yeah, which means you're not really coming clean.
Yeah.
I feel like that one just enables him to basically keep doing it if he wants to. So I don't like that. But like with Mia, I mean, the goal was to
The little girl.
Was to get her into the school.
Yeah.
It was absolutely a positive. Now, that's why I say it has to be overall positive, because it's going to be a big negative when you leave.
Yeah, and to further complicate that whole assignment is the mom wanted Philip to pose as the dad, but come into the picture 3 weeks before the school interview and actually say, hey, I'm your dad. So she would start to form a relationship with him and feel connected to him by the time the school interview came along. And wow, to do that to your kid, knowing that after 3 weeks, this person goes away, I know her mother must have been well-intentioned of wanting her daughter to get into the school, but I think that's really messed up. To say, bring a little girl, say this is your dad, and then knowing that you're going to pull the plug in 3 weeks.
Yeah, you need a way out on that one, and there's not a good out. Not at least not that I'm coming up with. I actually like how that relationship, well, at least from our perspective, ended.
Which, do you mean when the mom said, you've got to tell her you're moving back to America and you're leaving? No, because she found out on her own through happenstance commercial that... Oh, the little girl.
Yeah, that her dad, quote unquote, was an actor.
Yeah, she saw him as a pirate on TV. And
that got her a bit angry. I mean, it's fair to be angry because you formed a connection.
And your mom lied to you.
and Philip did the right thing, I think. I think obviously he turned down apparently a monster acting role in Korea to be able to do this with a girl, definitely from a numbers or dollars and cents or yens and cents.
And I don't know, life dream of trying to be an actor all that time and finally landing the role in a series.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. So he obviously had a connection
he hung her art in his home, all the things she made for him, and it filled a void. You could see that he really enjoyed that connection.
He was her dad for that, and I think that's the only way it's going to work, or else people will figure it out. They'll see through the emotional bullshit.
So, to my number one question, before I had temporary amnesia there, would you hire anyone to fill any of these roles? It's called rental family, but this person that you hire, they can be anything pretty much.
No. Well, for multiple reasons. Number one, that's, I am sure, not a cheap service.
Okay, well, assuming money wasn't an issue.
I mean, am I hiring for me?
Hiring for anything. Would you make use of these services for yourself or someone you know?
I couldn't make use of it for myself because I myself would know it's a fake relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Would I hire them to serve a role for somebody else? I mean, given my life and where I'm at, there's no reason, no need, no anything. Like you have to have a need to trick someone, and that someone can be yourself. It could be the people interviewing you at a school. It could be the actual person you're interacting with, like being a reporter. But you have to have a reason that someone out there needs to be deceived. And I really try to live my life in a way that does not require me to pull off a deception that large. Will I pull off small little deceptions and things often business related? Yes, 100%. But they are not long standing, like I'm your dad or I'm here to write about your life or I need to get married to somebody fake. Like,
so here's my take on it. I think back to when I was a kid. And all of you can think back to when you were children. We all played make-believe. We all pretended we were different people. We pretended our friends were different people. So I think playing make-believe is something we've all done. And then obviously you grow up and you stop doing that. But I think that's kind of what this...
You stop doing that? Yeah, okay.
I mean, most people do.
Sure. Yeah, we stop doing that. Okay. Wink.
Okay, so anyway, I can see, well, number one, in the instance where the woman needed to get married so she could actually be with the woman that she loved, like, I think that is an excellent use of that service. Now, I don't know how she maintains that with her parents. That's a whole other thing. But for myself,
based on Japanese culture, like from what I know of it, on that, like when you're in the family dynamic, like if you're in as a daughter, you're in as a daughter, but when daughter transforms to wife, like I'm not saying parents never hear from you again, but like it's not a lot like American relationships. It's like you have now transitioned to this person. This is the person that you're responsible for.
Okay.
And especially because they were going to move to Canada.
That's right.
So
yeah, I forgot about the moving out of
yeah.
country. So if it were me, I can see an instance of me hiring a rental family, and I'll go for the whole family. And I would not replace anyone I knew. Like, there's no way I'm having a new mom. I had a mom. I love my mom. I'm not looking for someone to pretend to be my mom.
Yeah, you won't even take my mom.
But what I would do is hire someone to play roles that I didn't have. So maybe I would have a dad who got remarried and I have a stepmom. And maybe they have their own kids and I have stepbrothers and stepsisters, or half brothers and half sisters, or maybe there's some other sibling dynamic in there, because I would enjoy feeling like I had parents. But I'm not going to replace my mom, and my dad's a POS. So I don't have any problem like coming up with a new dad. But I like the concept of having siblings, and I'm totally okay if they're not my siblings. And in this dynamic, they're not messed up siblings who are actually creating chaos and drama in my life, because I'm paying them to be great supportive siblings and a great supportive stepmom and dad. And not that I would like say I'm going to do this for a week, but if I could drop in on that family a couple times a year or once a month, I think I'd really like that.
Mind you, what I'm about to say is not in the "what the fuck is wrong with you" type sense. It's truly not.
Okay, this is scary.
But I like this part of the show would be good for your therapist to hear. No, I'm actually quite serious.
Well, I mean,
but
I'm an only child and I don't really have any family. That's not something I've had. I'm not looking to replace anyone, but I've always, that was. I don't know what that feels like to be part of a big loving family. And, you all, you have whatever your traditions are and whatnot. I love my time with my mom and we had each other. But I don't know what that you're part of a big family dynamic feels like. And I've always felt like that could be nice. But I also know so many people have so much drama with their parents and especially their siblings. And I'm grateful I don't have that, honestly, that drama and turbulence in my life.
Let me tell you, as the guy who's the oldest of five, it's not all it's cracked out to be. Like and that's
why I said once a month or a couple times a year.
There's upside and there's downside for sure.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think there's upside and downside to being an only child, especially an only child to an only parent.
Yeah. Yeah, single parent, single child. Yeah, I mean, dipping in and out of that kind of environment to be like, hey, I'm here. And everyone's like, oh, Amber's here. I don't know. I think that would be fun. Yeah. Again, I'm paying them to be good people who support me and love me and don't bring any drama.
Yeah. I mean, I think in a situation like that, you don't want to hire people to do it. You want to hire a family. Like you want to hire the ability to go into a family and be part of a family. Because I think that's the only way that works. Like you need a real family that they themselves have those bonds already. Oh, no, they're all actors. They don't know each other. Because if they're a family that comes in as a full unit, they've got their own drama and issues. I don't need that. I need 6, 7 strangers where all actors come in, play their roles, and there is no emotional, there is no outside entanglement. Well, the thing is like you're hiring a family that you vetted and you know. Like I know some families that are bigger than mine, and they are the definition of big happy family. I don't want that, because if
that's a actual family, those parents are going to have already attached emotions to their kids. Like if I said something against one of their kids, like, Billy, don't be stupid. And they're like, oh, don't you call Billy stupid? Because Billy's their son. Like I would not, the whole point is to not have that emotional entanglement that families have. And if they're all separate.
How old are you in this scenario? Why are you calling Billy stupid?
Well, I don't know. Why do you call people stupid?
Well,
that's not
usually because they're stupid.
That's not an age restriction thing. You can be a full-on adult and call people stupid.
Well, yeah, but not like, Mom, Billy called me stupid, or
I don't know.
Or,
I mean, can't you do that? Is that an age-restricted thing? I mean, I'm not saying it in a Marsha or Jan Brady kind of a way.
If it starts... If
Mom,
yeah, if
Billy's
your thing starts
stupid.
with either Mom or Dad, like if it holds that vowel in the middle, then
can't you
that
be
is
silly
age restricted.
Can't you be silly and do those things as an adult?
I'm going with no.
Really?
Yeah, I think it works while you're a kid, but at a certain point.
Oh, I didn't say that as a kid, so I can say that now as an adult. And I'm paying, so.
I mean, if you're paying, I guess you can do whatever you want. But I don't know if I'd be paying someone that either A, called me stupid, or B, I was.
Well, they're not going to call me stupid. I hired them.
Or I was okay with calling them stupid.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they do something stupid. This was an example. I think you're getting way too caught up in my example.
I'm definitely psychoanalyzing
you
this.
You are gravitating toward
into
my
the
example.
weeds.
Yes. Very weedy. Very weedy.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from on that.
Do you? Because it feels like you're making fun of me.
Well, no, but I would, personally, I would want that family, because that family, like you're wanting the family bonds and to feel that part. And any one person in the family, like, shouldn't be the glue that holds.
That's a lot of families, though. I mean, your mom's the glue in your family. That happens in a lot of families.
Yes, but that's not what you're looking for. Like, you're looking for that big, happy family situation.
I want them all to be healthy and good people on their own and independently that work together nicely as a family, but not someone that has to hold the family together, because I think that's a whole lot of pressure for that person.
Yeah, I think you actually could find this... And you would get more out of it if it was an actual family and you were fitting into it, because
I told you I don't want an actual family.
But
I don't want an actual family. I don't want one.
There's only so much that you can fake as an actor. Like,
well, what? They're getting D-list actors here? I mean, I'm expecting them to have acting skills to be able to play a stepmom or a dad or a brother or sister. That's not super complicated.
Yeah, but you introduce too many dynamics in that, because yes, there's obviously the dynamics of how they interact with you, but in the type of setting you're looking for, they are going to also have dynamics with each other.
Oh yeah, that's what rehearsal is for, before they meet me. I mean, you get hired for any role, you study and have rehearsals before showtime. I am showtime. They're working all that out on their own time before they come to fulfill the role for me.
Yeah, that's really expensive. That's really expensive.
You don't know how expensive it is.
I mean, you're looking for a lot. You're looking for these guys to work before they ever see you. So guess who's footing that bill?
Oh, okay. Well, in this made-up scenario, I'm okay giving them made-up money.
It's a lot of made-up money.
Okay, well,
it's a lot.
I'm the guy with the hat and the Monopoly board. I got lots of fake money in this.
Funny, I was about to mention Monopoly money. Okay, I mean it's interesting, because I think there's some things you can't fake, and I think now again, if faking it for an hour or 2 hours,
and maybe I do it once and that would be enough. I don't know. This is fake. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, if you're faking it for a couple hours, sure.
I mean, how about if I have vegetarian Thanksgiving with my no, they're actually a bad family. I was going to say the Phoenix family because they were all vegans, but no, they actually were bad. Okay, I don't know if I can get sued here, but yeah, no, they kind of had a culty history with their kids. I don't want to be part of that family, but maybe it's. I mean,
a very vegan Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's I get to choose who they are.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean,
have you ever wondered what it would be like to be an only child? Because this is no different. We have all wondered about what life is like on the other side of the tracks. Is the grass greener with this or that? I think that's a pretty normal experience as a human being, is to wonder what something is like that you don't have personal experience with.
See, I feel like the grass isn't greener as an only child. I think your experiences as an only child were very abnormal, but abnormally good. Like if I'm being frankly honest, most only children do not grow up as balanced,
as awesome as I am,
as you are.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty great.
They usually majorly lacking in several things, often social type things, because that is part of what you get from a family. I'm honestly not sure how you turned out the way you did.
I'm pretty great, aren't I?
Yes, baby!
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.